Hey guys, it's Adam. It's Monday, so here is your minister's moment. Last week I kind of introduced the idea of spiritual warfare because it's October and, spooky month and all that. I thought, hey, why not make a little series out of this? So today I'm going to talk some more about some spiritual warfare, leave you an encouraging message out of this. And my story today comes from the book of Daniel. Now, obviously, there's a lot of crazy spiritual stuff going on in the book of Daniel. A lot of miracles and things with, the fiery furnace, the den of lions, and lots of stuff going on. But I think there's one story that we kind of overlook a lot of times in the book of Daniel. It's in Daniel chapter 10. Now, as you know, Daniel was real big on receiving visions or dreams and interpreting them for the various kings that he served while he was there. And in Daniel chapter 10, he's under Persian rule, and he sees this vision, and he prays to God for an interpretation of what he saw. And usually, whenever he does that, an angel appears, and he's just kind of there and says, okay, well, here's the meaning of it to answer your prayer, to give you, instruction on that. But for whatever reason, this time, that doesn't happen. And Daniel fasts, trying to wait for this message to come. Maybe God needs a little bit extra, encouragement of sending a message. And Daniel waits for a good while. He waits for 3 weeks, in fact, before finally an angel comes and appears before him, looking a little different than what it seems Daniel is kind of used to. He sees this angel that, and it described really, really, really impressively. He says that, I looked up and saw a man dressed in linen clothing with a belt of pure gold around his waist. His body looked like a precious gem. His face flashed like lightning, and his eyes flamed like torches. His arms and feet shone like polished bronze, and his voice roared like a vast multitude of people. Impressive. So impressive, in fact, that Daniel sees this guy and faints and just drops to the floor. Angel wakes him up and says, look, I've been here, and well, I would have been here. I am here now. Since the moment you prayed and asked for interpretation of this dream, I was sent to come give you the interpretation. But I fought with this guy, and he's described in Scripture as either the spirit prince or the prince of Persia, over the kingdom of Persia, and he fought me and kept me from coming to you. For 3 weeks I fought with this guy, and I can only come to you now because I actually got help from the archangel Michael. Now that's some fight, right? I mean, you think about all our action movies and different kind of things like that these days. I want to know how that went. And so basically, Michael, he comes and says, Michael took my place. I'm here now to give you the interpretation. He gives Daniel the interpretation, and he says, okay, now I got to go. I got to go back to help Michael with this prince of Persia, because after we get done with him, this spirit prince of Greece is on his way to come, and we got to fight him too. Wow, crazy stuff. And obviously, if this angel that is different looking than Daniel is used to, because he sees him and he faints, it actually reminds me a little bit of the description of Jesus in Revelation chapter 1 that John sees. Very similar description kind of a thing. And if this angel can only come to Daniel because Michael came in and basically took his place and helped him to get away from the fight, how strong are some of these beings, right? But my encouraging thing to you in this message, in this story here, is that while this evil spiritual beings over the nation of Persia at the time were able to stop angels from coming to Daniel, the one thing they could not stop, and the one thing they can never stop, is our prayers to God. God heard Daniel's prayer, even with this being in the area trying to mess things up for Daniel. He could not stop Daniel's prayer to God. And I find that very encouraging. When life gets us down, when things look dark, when things are not going our way, when things are bad, the one thing we can always do, the one thing we can always count on is prayer. And that God hears our voice. He hears our prayer. He hears our call for help. And he sends it to us. Hope that you find that encouraging this morning as I do. Love you guys. See you next time.